Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny video. As you are no doubt painfully aware, the Destiny beta has closed and you are now going to have to wait just over 40 days to get your hands back on it. But I'm here with TwoSixNine and thought it'd be an opportune moment to chat about our experience with Destiny so far. Been wanting to sort of do these discussions for a little while, kind of kick it off, just sort of like, you know, chat together, really sort of like break it down and see what the game's got to offer, kind of talk about what we want to sort of see for the future. So yeah, let's kind of kick it off. So obviously here with TwoSixNine. Now before we start breaking it down itself, what are your overall thoughts? We've obviously had a lot of time with the alpha and the beta, but you know, what are you thinking so far? How are you feeling about the game?
Firstly, I want to know what everybody else is thinking, so if you do have anything to say, guys, then drop it down in the comments below about the beta, if you were liking it, if you weren't liking it, if it's changed your mind now, if you're going to buy it or not, stuff like that. A lot of my alpha videos you've seen already that I kind of started liking it after playing it for a while, so I wanted to kind of jump in, and the beta's kind of continued that. I think I kind of burnt myself out on the beta quite a bit. I just spent all my time in the Crucible just banging that, because guys, you know how much I'm just into my PvP and kind of multiplayer gameplay stuff, so I was just going around destroying people in that and stuff. Sorry if it sounds like I'm gloating, but people were getting wrecked. Because the first weapon I actually got during the whole beta period was actually me. I got a C as my first uncommon weapon, and I didn't realise that was actually like one of the best weapons in the beta. And I just went around just wrecking people the whole time with that. And I was like on Reddit, and I was checking out the weapons and stuff, and people were saying it's a really good weapon, and I realised that maybe I had an unfair advantage. That coupled with my general skill, I was destroying people. So yeah, what about you? How are you finding it? What are you
I mean, well, before I kind of jump into that, I mean, the weapon, I definitely agree about the weapons. I mean, like, you know, obviously, like, we play a lot of games together, and like I have mixed experiences in PvP. Like sometimes I hold my own, I go quite well, but sometimes I kind of drop it down. But
that 0.6 KD.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Hey,
yes,
guys,
yes.
If you don't know, then like if I'm playing a match with Arekkz or Arekkz or whatever, then generally if I'm in the match, then Arekkz always gets the same KD, and it's always 0.79 or it's like some specific number as well. It's not even like anywhere like a broad number or in between like 1 and 0.5. It's actually always the same number, and to like the point percentage it's like 0.69, which is ridiculous.
It's because like I don't play conventionally. You know, you go off and you follow the map because you know where the spawns are. You do the right things, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go the wrong way, and I'm going to go. But anyway, yes, it's true. I do have mixed experiences, but when I got that C, like, it did change it for me. Like, I was winning a lot more with gun battles, because I actually started out using the scout rifle, because that's kind of like how I play. I play it like I play Halo. I use the DMR in Halo, so I used the scout rifle initially, and early on it was doing quite well, but then when people started to get more used to the beta, then they started sort of wrecking it, and I started losing a lot of my gun battles. So I switched over to the assault rifle, or the auto rifle, and then switched over to the C, and it completely changed the game, and most of my KDs were positive. So yeah, that's definitely a big one. But yeah, I mean, for me, like,
maybe it was the gun then. That's the overpower thing. I did get the other gun. What's it called? The Sedona.
Oh yeah,
AR3. But I didn't like it as much because it didn't have as much clip ammo. But other people were saying it's just as good. But I don't think it is. It's got a slower like shoot rate and everything. But I've got a video coming out on that soon. Just kind of really discussing all the weapons and the guns and what I was using. I know you've done your one, and I think we came to the kind of same conclusion that the C was
definitely
the gun
to use, definitely. But I mean, I found myself, like, for the beta myself, I mean, I know what you mean. Near the end, I started to get a bit kind of burnt out, but then it started to have that sort of Warcraft feel with me, where when I was sitting down and working, I wasn't playing the game. I used to just leave my character idle in the tower, which is exactly what I used to do on like MMOs when I'm playing like Guild Wars or Warcraft. I kind of just feel like I always want to be in the world, so that's really good for me. Like I can see right now that I'm going to spend a lot of time on it. Just, you know, that whole kind of idle life. But other than that, I mean, yeah, I spent a lot. I probably spent more time in the exploration mode than I did in Crucible. Like I should have spent more time in the Crucible, but honestly, like, I kept on finding new areas. I kept on finding new caves, new monsters, and some weird sort of spawn things. In fact, there's a crazy thing that you're going to see in a video later on this week. Stumbled across this really weird sort of almost infinite spawn where they just started piling monsters in. This happened on a Sunday, so I think they were trying to drop something crazy on me. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that one. But no, I'm really enjoying it. And like when I tried to boot it up on Monday morning, thinking, come on, American time, maybe it'll still be running. Nope. When I was hit by that sign, I was like, oh, this is painful.
on the Sunday when it was kind of wrapping up, I was so tired because I had to do overtime on the Saturday and the Sunday. I was so wrecked in terms of coming back. I played it on the Saturday afternoon or whatever, and I wanted to play so badly on the Sunday, but I just couldn't get around to it. And I'm so sad that I didn't actually just commit and then started playing like a few more matches and wrapping up a few more stuff on the beta and getting a few more tidbits. Because I did enjoy the game, but now I'm kind of even more looking forward to kind of that September release and see what's in the full game. Because even though I've played a lot of the alpha and beta, and it's kind of the content, I think it was the content that was grinding on me, not so much the actual game itself. Like just not having enough content because it was a beta and an alpha.
Yeah, there weren't that many.
Playing that like 4 or 5 times, it was a bit jarring. But yeah, outside that, the game is pretty brilliant, and I'm hoping that like the higher level stuff, a lot of the abilities that I've seen, especially if you haven't seen that abilities video, go watch that. It looks like it's got some cool stuff. I'm most really going to go with the Titan and the Ward kind of shield thing, because that looks pretty cool. Yeah, that bubble thing. Hopefully I can like block a lot of stuff with that, and just like, because a lot of the time when I see myself dying, it's from people's supers. It's not people killing me or shooting me or anything like that. It's just people's supers. So I'm just trying to dodge that, and it's really hard to kind of dodge that, especially if someone comes around the corner and starts throwing like a Nova bomb at you. It's kind of hard to react to that and jump. I can jump out the way, but I won't get far enough. So hopefully, if I've got the shield, I can just pop that, and it will just pop, and I should have like a fast enough reaction to actually time it enough. So
yeah, it'd be interesting to see if it does actually block supers, or whether they'll just kind of like reduce damage or something. But
it says it blocks all damage.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Yeah. Well, then, yeah. I suppose it better had. But yeah, and I suppose I'm definitely gonna go Hunter. I mean, when I played the Alpha, I was dead set on being a Warlock, but since playing the Hunter and going back to other classes, like the Hunter's speed and the pace, I just love it so much, and the double jump just. I know the amount of times I died on Crucible on Shores of Time trying to jump over the gaps, and my double jump just didn't go quite far enough. But when I can upgrade that to triple, it'll be completely different. But the speed of the Hunter is brilliant. The one thing I do want to do, I'm definitely going to go down the Blade Dancer route though, because the one thing I didn't like about the super, I mean, the super for the Hunter, once you've got the gun out, it's ridiculously powerful, but the kind of initiation animation, the amount of times I died just by pulling my super out. Someone's just like, oh look, he's got a golden gun, and shoots me in the head before I can even do anything.
The Hunter's saying, I have the power!
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And while I'm just dancing, they go, look at me, look at me. They're like, no. Whereas the Blade Dancer one, it seems like, when you press it, it seems like it's got like an activation kind of thing, so I'm hoping it'll be more like, just a kind of a lightning blast, and then obviously after that, while it's active, it looks like you can then kind of go along sort of slashing or just churning out lightning. So hopefully that should be really good, because I was a lot, I'm a lot more kind of like up close, especially using an auto rifle. You're always going to be up close, so it kind of, I think it will sort of work out a lot better. But I'm definitely really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I tried out the Hunter on your account because you are obviously out for that special event, and it kind of changed my mind a little bit. I might have to make a Hunter as well. I was playing along with it, and I just realised like how powerful it makes me as like a player. In terms of just being able to, like, as you said, the pace and stuff, just jumping around and just doing some craziness and just jumping over people. I was able to like just duke people by just like jumping behind them and do some craziness. And the golden gun as well is like, I wouldn't say it's OP or anything, because every class has got their own kind of super and special whatever and their own abilities, but it seemed a lot easier to use and get kills with if you had that golden gun.
Yeah.
And
From range, if you've got it active from range, you can do a lot of damage with that.
Yeah, because with the Titan, you obviously have to get in a lot closer to actually do any damage, and usually you have to run through a few people. So hopefully when you get the higher level Titan ability where you can like dive in, it will kind of balance it out with the golden gun. But for now, yeah, definitely the golden gun just kind of was easy for me. I don't know if you can grab that clip that I posted on your Facebook wall the other day, where I'm just running through, just wrecking guys
I'll put that
everything.
Here. You guys will be able to see it right now. That was a crazy moment. But I mean, actually going back to what you were saying about the Hunter as well, about sort of duping people, jumping over them. I mean, that's going to go to the next level when you go down the tree on the Blade Dancer, and you can instead change your triple jump into a blink, and then I can teleport. That's going to be...
Exactly. So hopefully, I wish you could have both, really, so you could like double jump and blink, and then throw a knife in someone's face. I don't know. I'm hoping for games that have a bit more kind of locomotion in them in terms of like the movement and movement possibilities.
It looks, when you look at that kind of IGN first video, it does look like you can mix trees. So
I'm guessing you're gonna have the standard tree for a jump anyway, so I will get that initial jump. It's just the if you could have all three.
Yeah.
And you could like jump.
I suppose triple jump blink would be a bit OP because you could probably just like.
Yeah.
But that would be so cool.
Yeah, and it depends on how you can blink. Can you blink left and right, or is it just generally your stiff?
Yeah, I mean it says it replaces your double
forward.
jump, so I imagine it'll be kind of like wherever you're facing. But if you could do it left and right, that could be really cool.
Yeah, that would be nice, man. It kind of reminds me. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Today there's a Call of Duty video that's actually dropped, and it's got kind of like a lot more movement stuff in that. So hopefully it's something like that where you can move left to right and up and down and stuff like that and boost around. There is one other game that had it in that you guys don't know about but didn't have it on in release, so I won't drop that.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it was pretty cool.
them bombshells.
Yeah.
But I suppose, alright, let's put it back and let's take a look at, I mean, like, let's talk about missions. Actually, no, before missions, let's talk about scale. So, if you remember, like, way back, you remember when they first like, announced, or like, they started talking, like, Bungie were talking a lot about Destiny, they were talking about sort of the scale of the worlds. They said that per planet there was supposed to be a lot of locations. For example, Earth had, like, old Russia, as well as places like Chicago and different things like that. But recently they did confirm that there's likely only to be one location per planet on launch. So,
yeah, that's there.
Yeah, which means, so, I mean, but the thing is, you got to kind of think of it two ways. I mean, like, old Russia is big, right? But by the looks of it, when you look at the kind of map, I think we've been given access to almost all of old Russia. I mean, obviously, you couldn't get to like the level 20 area because it is really, really strong. But I did do that kind of stealthy speed run through it, and I managed to go from start to finish. So I think it kind of links back in. So I think we've pretty much explored most of old Russia, which means we've still got. I think there's There's Venus, Mars, Moon, and I think there's Saturn, isn't there? I think there's 5 planets. So that means if there's only so if there's only like 5, if there's only like kind of one location per planet.
The reef or something, or the twilight? No, it's the reef, I think, as well.
You neutralize.
Yeah. So I suppose, I mean, so there are going to be fewer places, which is interesting. But then I suppose when you think about their kind of 10-year plan, I suppose, I mean, like, I don't really kind of know what the plan is, but I imagine being this kind of big immersive world, they're probably going to, they've got DLC planned for the end of the year, obviously, as you can know, like, if you pre-order the game. But I think they're probably going to do expansions as well. So I guess they'll add to the world. But I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, but that's kind of boring though. It depends on how they're going to do it, right? They've kind of oversold the game as a massive game, and if it comes out and it's any less than that, people are going to be disappointed regardless.
Yeah.
They're selling it as a kind of universe, but if it's only like 8 or whatever levels, then it's pretty kind of plain boring because you're only going to go to those 8 levels a number of times. If it had different areas within it, and it was something like World of Warcraft, where you kind of go to Kalimdor, and then it's got like loads of different locations that you can go to, and they're all different, and they kind of got that variety. It just feels like a massive world that you're exploring through constantly. Yeah, that would have felt great, and it would have felt like a journey into like another world and kind of universe, and something that you can get immersed into. But for now, old Russia's pretty small for what I was expecting out of like Earth and stuff.
I think it's weird because when we played, because the alpha was a lot shorter, so when we played the alpha, I thought old Russia was massive, but I didn't really get to explore everywhere in it, so I was like, oh, this is going to be huge. But then when I really sort of spent a lot of time in the beta, I ended up going kind of from one side to the other, relatively quickly. So I know what you mean. It's not, but I mean, maybe some of the other planets are bigger. Who knows? I mean, Earth. I mean, obviously on the map, Earth looks pretty big, but it could be that some of them are bigger. But they could still, they could still change. But they did say, obviously, in line with that, I think did they say they were about kind of like, was it about sort of 30, 40 missions, something like that?
Yes, about 40 or something, 40
so
missions, and one raid. That's the thing that was like, what?
That's the weird one, because obviously, I mean, again, we always kind of keep throwing back to it, but like, Warcraft, there were so many raids. But having said that, I mean, there are obviously the talks before when they said, they got like that esports team into the studio, and after 6 hours they still couldn't complete the raid. I mean, if it's going to be that hard, then
yeah, but I don't want to. Even if it is a 6-hour raid, I don't want to be in the same place for 6 hours. Like,
no, true.
Just making a raid hard doesn't mean it's going to be something that's going to be fun or anything, especially if you're in the same place. Like, that's just a grind. Like, the game kind of feels like a grind already, because from the alpha they've kind of toned down the amount of glimmer that you get, so it feels like a little bit of a grind. This isn't me dogging on Destiny anyway, because this game's brilliant. It's just a little bit tidbits that
I mean,
are really
things,
kind of irking
we'd
me
like
at the
to see
moment,
kind of
and
improve,
concerns.
But I mean, no, raids are definitely, because clearly once because they did say that you'll hit level 20 quite fast, and then from there you're going to kind of progress horizontally. So it's all going to be then about more skill and less about your level, which is really cool. I mean, I do like that. I came from my first MMO I ever played was Guild Wars, where you hit level 20 quite early in the game, and then it does become more about skill. So I'm all in favour of that. But yeah, I think for things like the raids, it would be really really nice to add. But I suppose with DLC packs coming out, then they can always add them. Especially considering if there's only one raid, I imagine it'll be in like one of the planets. So there's 4 or 5 other untapped planets where they could just drop a raid as a DLC pack. So hopefully
there's more, and there's different configurations that you can load into in a raid. Hopefully it's like one of the raids in WoW where there's different wings or something, and those wings take however long to actually get through in terms of that, and it's a bit of variety in the boss, and then the loot is great as well.
Yeah, true.
That's what it always comes down to anyway. Some of the loot that I've seen already is pretty cool. Hopefully the high level stuff looks absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I'm hoping especially in weapons, I'm hoping some of the high level ones look really good, because even when if you go to someone like the Vanguard people in the town, all the weapons, they look really cool, but they all seem to be like just a skinned version of the same kind of... They're like the AR or like the auto rifle kind of all looks the similar shape, but just in different colours. So I'm hoping you get some really, really crazy looking weapons.
Yeah, we've already seen some of them. Bungie's teased some of the crazy looking ones like Red Death and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like that. But yeah, I see what you mean. The lower level ones are kind of all reskinned of the same kind of configurations, but hopefully we get some really cool weapons, just not during the end game, but throughout as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I suppose the other thing I want to sort of talk about as well, like social features. So this was something that kind of, or go back to what I sort of spoke about at the beginning. When I'm kind of idle and I'm not playing the game, but I'm kind of working and I have the game running in the background and I sit in the tower. I think that's one thing that struck me that we're really missing. Like when you're in the tower, like one thing that, like dancing is super contagious. You walk up to anyone, you start dancing, suddenly before you know it, you've got a dance party going on. But aside from that, you can't really interact. I mean, you can't talk unless you're in a fire team. There's no chat box, so you can't actually message people. There aren't even emotes, so you can at least kind of say hi, or you want to join a party kind of thing. Short of waving and dancing and sitting, there's not actually any kind of interaction you can do.
Yeah, I see what you mean, and the dancing, I think there needs to be more of them as well.
Yes, yeah.
I think there needs to be more. I guess that's the kind of thing to take away from this, is just like there needs to be more to it, if you get what I'm saying. And we know that it's kind of an investment from Activision and both Bungie for kind of this 10-year plan, and they're going to be adding content all the time, and there's going to be loads of different DLC content packs coming out all the time. But right now, in its kind of raw basis and kind of shell at the moment, it doesn't feel like there is enough to it. But that is just the beta that we're going off of, so yeah, I'm going to hold my breath for the full game and see what it's saying.
Basically, we just want exactly what we've got, but just more of it. Yeah. No, I agree. I definitely agree. What about you? I mean, so aside from the kind of social features, and obviously what you just said, a bit more. Are there any kind of like sort of takeaways, things, something that kind of stood out that you'd be like, oh, I wish they'd changed this, or I wish they'd changed this for the full game, that kind of thing.
I wish there was more classes as well. I know there's only 3 as well, and they are kind of different, but there could be more classes, more customization options. It's just a more thing, yeah, literally just more of the game. The core gunplay and everything, and the kind of mission objectives are all great. That's something that did actually hurt me. I felt like the game's more repetitive. A lot of the same was just go here, kill this person, complete this, do that over again. But that may be just because I have played like the beta now for like 3 or 4 times and done those missions quite a lot. So hopefully when there's actually a narrative and we're moving along the storyline rather than playing the same thing over and over again, it's something that I can kind of delve into, and it's not feeling so repetitive.
No, definitely. I agree. Alright, well that just about wraps this up. So firstly, let us know what you think. We really want to know what you guys think. Did you enjoy the beta? Are you really looking forward to the final game? What are you most looking forward to? And to our point at the end, what would you like them to change? What would you like them to add? That kind of stuff. So really drop your comments down below. Really want to know what you guys think. As always, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Hit that like button and show your support. It does really help us out. And obviously don't forget to subscribe for daily gaming videos. Otherwise, thanks to TwoSixNine for joining me as well. And we'll catch you next time.
Yeah. Don't forget to hit up the like button though, guys. It really does help us out and boosts our kind of view counts and our whole community that we have around Arekkz Gaming.
And it's all about you guys.
Anyway, it's all about you guys in the end. Anyway, guys, we're out. I'm TwoSixNine, and that was Arekkz. Laters.